Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
Very well written. You can, in books, you can read her diary, and they actually made a film of all that. But she became a published author, which was always her dream. Sadly, she died just before liberation. She was finally, the family were caught and arrested and sent to a concentration camp. Her father survived, and it's perhaps a story we'll look at in another week. I don't think we've looked at it before. But my point there is that sometimes in life, there are people, in this case, Helen Keller and Frank, whose stories live on, almost forever, I suspect, because what they did, what they achieved was mind-blowing in various ways. And for those things to happen to Anne Frank, as I say, it's a great story to read. I actually went once to they've got a museum of the house where she was hidden in an annex with her family, and it's now a museum there. And you go up the stairs and there's a bookcase which went across the landing, and you'd never know there was like more rooms up there where the family were hidden by the very nice family, the Dutch family, who risked death if they'd been found. I don't think they were shot when the Germans actually found them, but somebody had tipped them off a couple of years later. Anyway, that is a very good story. But there are sometimes stories about people, and you look at it, and I sometimes think, yeah, that person was almost put in that situation for a reason. Why? To inspire us, to tell us that, most people have a reasonable life. We have ups and downs, pros and cons, but there are difficulties. But when you think of the difficulties that some people have faced and come through in an incredible way, then I think it's inspiring for anyone who cares to read those stories about these sorts of people.
Truly,
it's great
inspiring.
stuff.
Truly inspiring. Yeah. There's a lot of morals that you can draw out of it, because you could think. You think, well, if somebody, despite not having the full use of their senses, of their senses, could achieve something, then we have no excuse, do we?
We don't really. No. So let's move on now to.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No. I was just saying we don't really have any excuses. Yeah.
No, we don't. Well, I think, to be fair, people, we do push ourselves. I mean, we have to push ourselves. There are times in life we do, and it's the way it is. But I think the lesson is that probably we could always do a bit more. We could always put ourselves under a bit more pressure and see how far we can go. But to continue from last week, now you may remember, Cuz, last week I asked you what you felt the best things were about being a man. Yeah. And the worst things. And this week we're going to continue that by looking. It might be a bit difficult for us as we're not women, but we're going to dare to think about the best things about being a woman, and maybe some of the worst things. Just a quick recap. I don't know whether you remember some of the best things you and I said about being a man. I remember you said about you could be ready to go out within about 5 or 10 minutes because you're not putting any slap on, as the women will say. I said, in a lot of research, a lot of men say these things as well, that it's quite good to have a beard because we don't have to shave every day. The top two in research, the top two things men said about being a man, why it's better, is A, they don't have to give birth, and B, they don't have that time of the month, they don't have periods. So although that is in a sense a bit of a negative as for being a best thing about being a man. Worst things, can you remember any of the worst things we said about being a man?
Worst things about being a man, you have to carry everybody on your shoulders. I think if you're a man, everybody looks up to you. Everybody in the family basically looks up to you. Your children.
There's an expectation in a way, isn't there?
Yeah. There's an expectation for you to measure up, and I think that's one of the things that you know, probably one of the biggest causes of depression in men is, you
Yeah,
know, you feeling inadequate or you
yeah.
feeling you can't really measure up. It does bring you down, especially if you're, I mean, not all men, some men are
No,
just,
yeah.
yeah, they're just happy
It's,
just being, just being called whatever name under the sun, you know, they'd be like, yeah, I can take
I don't know
it.
about that. No, I know what you mean, and I think we also said, or some men have said that an equivalent to childbirth pain is being kicked in the testicles, which probably many of us experience playing football.
Yeah.
Um, and it is a very, but I suppose it's a much quicker pain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not expected to show emotions.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.